It's going to be a weird show for me because I forgot to freeze my my Death Star ice ball. So I have little ice balls. And yeah, I don't know how long.
Be on tilt the whole night, huh? Sorry.
Before they melt. So we'll see. Ray, did you know I had a Death Star ice ball?
Yeah, I see it on camera whenever.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Nice and hefty. It's like just as big as the glass.
Ray, you ready? You all set?
Yep, I am. 100% ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Let's do a show. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Hey, it's episode 81, right?
Do it.
Okay.
Do it now. Yep. Get to the
I don't want to embarrass myself. Oh, I'm so nervous. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 81, my God, of the Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that is slightly better than mediocre. I am your host, I am Rem, once again. Just chilling, man, just chilling and talking to people and making friends and having a great time doing it, that's right. And all the way out there in California, he was in Star Wars land. We could talk about that later. We have more important things to do, but it's Ray. Hey Ray, do you still have power or they shut it off? Like what's up? What's up with your power?
Hey, I don't even know anything about the power because I've been riding around the galaxy in the Millennium Falcon doing smuggling runs and such nonsense. So
look at you.
Power schmower. I just, cruise my way around the galaxy.
Living the life, Ray. Good for you, buddy. I'm so happy for you. All right, Ray, enough about you. We have some more important things to do. As I've been announcing for 2 weeks now, we have guests tonight, and I'm super excited because we're going to steal their gimmick like right in front of them. It's going to be awesome. And, it's going to be great. Yeah, but we have from the Garbage and Gold podcast, it is Lisa and Lindsey. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the Rich Dickman Show.
Hey, it's not a gimmick. It's a really great format. So thanks for having us on your show.
We are super excited.
You're welcome. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm excited too. And, Lisa, in wrestling, gimmicks are very important. So I'm not, it's not an insult. It's a compliment.
I'm familiar. I just wanted to be clear. Yeah, I just wanted to be real clear about it.
All right. Well, here we are. We are going to talk about the Garbage and Gold podcast. One of my more recent favorite podcasts that I tune into every Tuesday morning.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Lisa and Lindsey, why don't you tell my audience of 7 and 3/4 people about how your show, how this came together? How did you guys decide to put a podcast out there for us to listen to where you talk about garbage and gold?
Yeah. Do you want to do it, Lindsey, or do you want me to?
I'll do it if you guys don't mind. No, I'm just kidding.
Perfect. I can start, and then Lisa, you can jump in.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sounds good.
Lisa and I have known each other a super long time. We met through work. My boss was Lisa's old boss, and my boss was like, "You should really talk to Lisa." And I decided not to read into that. So that I sucked at my job, but whatever. And so then we've just been friends a super long time, and then became obsessed with podcasts and kind of shared that love. And then we were like, we could do a podcast. We're really fun to hang out with. And then no one agreed. And so we thought that was the perfect opportunity to start a podcast.
That sounds fairly accurate. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
For sure. We definitely love podcasts. And it was just a matter of finding the right format and the right idea behind it that we could both feel excited about every week. And then when that hit, it was like, yeah, let's do this thing. So
that's podcasts, bringing people together since at least 2012, Ray. It's at least 2012. Yeah. So your format then that you mentioned that you fell upon and you liked and you're excited about. So tell us about that. What is Garbage and Gold about, and what do you guys do every week? Or gals.
Every week we take a topic and we choose the best and the worst of that thing. So can be anything from like a pop culture thing, a history thing, a food thing, whatever. So we've done like Disney princesses, we've done fast food, we've done movie villains, we've had a lot of them. We've done a lot of things, 45 things at this point. And then we each choose the best and a worst of that topic and deliberate it. And then the listeners of our podcast get to decide who is right by voting on our Twitter and Instagram pages.
So 2 questions I have now. Number 1, has there been a Garbage and Gold of Jeremy Renner movies?
Not yet. To the list.
Not yet. Okay. All right. It's on the list.
It's definitely been mentioned. I don't know, probably once every couple
I
weeks.
think we would have to find a gold, so that would be a struggle.
That is the issue.
And number 2 is who counts the votes? Do you count them together? If you do, how do you prevent double voting or double counting? Or how does that work?
I actually count the votes. I am the vote tallier, and so we just are on good faith that I am actually counting.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of trust put into a podcast partnership, as you are well aware, and I trust that Lindsey is doing the right thing, and I never worry about it.
Lisa does a ton of the behind the scenes stuff, so I show up and say funny things and count the votes, and that's really all I do. So that's the partnership, and not even super
trust her
funny.
to do those things.
It's not even super funny.
Gig.
I say some things.
One of my favorite parts of Ray. Ray, did you send that T-shirt out yet? You jerk.
Working on it.
Working on it. Yeah. Here I am asking for this person's address like a creep.
I did half the T-shirt requests. The making the T-shirt not done. The updating the website T-shirt part done.
Lindsey, you said saying funny things, and I one of my favorite parts of the beginning of every Tuesday morning is your alliteration leading into the episode. How much work does that take, or are you just doing that on the spot? Like,
it usually just takes a quick goog, and then I'm set. So
goog being short for
I pick
Google.
a letter and. Yes, sorry. Usually a quick Google and then I pick a letter. So yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So but thank you.
Yeah. She's selling herself short. What usually happens is we're going to get ready to record and she's like, oh, I forgot to do the alliteration, and she'll hammer it out in like 15 seconds.
Wow.
It's so good.
Nice.
It's so good. So it's a little bit of both, but it's definitely her creativity that makes it like, so.
You know, Lindsey, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to my glory days of podcasting when I used to be famous. I used to steal lines from music songs and use them in my intro and kind of twist them around. And that you're still doing the alliteration this far into it is God bless you, because that's awesome. Because I was ready to quit. It's so hard to keep it up. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I actually really like it and it's fun for me. But I assume I will stop doing it at some point. But for right now, we're hanging in there.
Ray has a gimmick. He didn't do it this week though, but it's usually what do you say, Ray? Hey, party people? No, your thing. I forget now. It's not even a thing, I guess. Because I would remember.
Yeah, it's not even really a thing.
Sorry, Ray. All right.
I don't have anything.
So your most recent episode was the Garbage and Gold of sleepovers, which I found interesting because if I may, I think you might have needed a male voice on that one because male and female sleepovers are quite different.
She did. Yeah. Lindsey was worried about that. Yep.
Yeah. Because we're dudes.
So please weigh in.
Yeah, we're not staying up at night in bed with each other talking about our secrets. We're either wrestling or making fun of each other or playing video games. So there's a big difference there, but I appreciate what you guys said all the same.
You're really missing out if you're not staying up late telling secrets. I got to tell you, because that is the best thing of all time ever. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, next week, let's stay up and tell secrets after the show.
Oh, cute.
So fun. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Lisa.
Again. I'm all out. I don't have any from this week.
All right. So we have the Garbage and Gold podcast, Lisa and Lindsey, and I want to know, out of your 45 episodes, you got to pick your favorite babies. Like, what are your favorite garbages and what are your favorite golds?
Oh.
Do you have, like, there has to be one that sticks out that you just had such a great discussion on, or you pissed off the other person, or whatever it was.
Okay, no, I have mine now. When you said it like that, I definitely have mine.
Dang, I know what yours is too. I don't know if I know what mine is.
You Yeah, well, I'll share mine while you're still brainstorming. Mine was definitely the garbage and gold of first dates because
Still hate you.
because I go into a personality test based on who you choose in classic Mario Kart because I said a barcade was a gold first date. So I have like a personality test that if you choose this character, this is what it says about you, whatever. And Lindsey knows shockingly little about Mario Kart, and it became pretty obvious. And she was not super thrilled about it, and it was fantastic. So that's my favorite.
Yep. That was a good time. What was nice was how many people reached out and was like, I can't believe how much Lisa is bullying you. And I was like, thank you.
Wow.
The support system was so significant.
I think my favorite episode, I don't even know which episode it is, but the episode where we learned about Lisa's broccoli eating habits that I could not get over. I think that was gas station food.
Oh,
is that what it was?
Can you share some of those habits?
No? I can't remember.
That sounds interesting.
Yes. It's really just one big thing in that Lisa doesn't eat the tops of broccoli. She eats the stems.
What the?
I know. And it was...
Broccoli tops are gross.
No,
Shut up. They're gross. No one likes them. They're nasty. What? They're dry and they're like little trees. They're gross.
You're just being a contrarian.
Yeah.
Not being contrarian. If they are prepared properly, I will. If they're roasted, I'll eat them. I'm not going to eat raw broccoli tops. I'm not a monster.
What are your thoughts on cauliflower,
this is
Lisa?
What happened.
Don't eat it. It's gross. It smells weird. It looks weird. It has a bad texture. Hard pass.
You know when you think you know someone and then you decide to start a podcast with them and then things like this happen and you're like, what? How have we been friends?
It really derails everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Brussels sprouts, Lisa. Brussels sprouts.
Really do have a lot in common.
I am a fan of roasted Brussels sprouts, I will say.
Right. Lindsey, how about you? Do you eat cauliflower?
Not by choice, but I do love broccoli a lot. So I'll do cauliflower if it's there, but I'm a huge fan of broccoli. But the tops of broccoli and not necessarily the stems. So, call me bougie, but I like the tops.
In Lisa's defense, all right, now I do eat the broccoli tops, but everybody should know this, is that if you're cutting up some broccoli and you're working that inner stem after all the florets have been pulled off and you start taking like the outer skin off of that and you start chopping it up and it's very sweet. It's very delicious. So it's not.
It's good. Yeah. It is.
All right.
Don't encourage her.
No, I won't. I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to be fair to my guests, equal time and equal representation. Yeah. Ray, there is for when you do come to Connecticut, Ray, one day, there is a barcade in New Haven, and Lisa said that's a gold first date. I think we should go to a barcade in New Haven. What do you think, buddy?
Oh, yes. I think that sounds like a perfect first mandate.
Okay.
Cute. It is. It's very gender inclusive that way. And then you can have a sleepover and tell secrets.
Yeah, we can shot. We can
You're
work that
welcome.
in the itinerary.
We'll tweet you guys when we do that. Yeah. God, Lisa, I'm so curious now.
Please, yes.
The Mario Kart personality test, was that, you said original Mario Kart?
Like N64. So it's just, it would be like Bowser, Mario, Luigi, Toad, whatever. So it's not like any of the extra characters.
Hold on, Lisa. The original is from 1993 on a Super Nintendo. Come on.
Okay, I'm referring to the one that was in the barcade I went to. If you're going to, actually we're going to have something else come up and we're going to have to leave your podcast.
All right, I'm sorry. I take it back.
I legit had someone ask me today who my favorite Mario Kart character was, and I started sweating. I was like, this is not a topic I feel like
PTSD.
Lindsey, just say Mario.
Oh my God.
Just say Mario because
I should.
The most average all around. Yeah, it's perfect. Mario is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two are out in Minnesota. Is that, okay. I have this weird connection to Wisconsin and Minnesota throughout my whole podcasting career. So it's so weird that we have guests from Minnesota tonight, Ray. I don't know what this is, but, I'm curious about what life is like in Minnesota because I'm in Connecticut and Ray is in the third world hellhole that is California. And I watch a lot of food shows and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I need to know, Lindsey, Lisa, lutefisk. What's lutefisk like?
I don't. I'm not native Minnesotan, so I don't know.
Okay.
I legit don't know. Lisa, do you know?
Lutefisk? Sure, I do. So it is, I think it's cod that's soaked in lye, and then they boil it. So they boil the fish, and then they serve it to people who willingly buy it and ingest it. Ugh. But it's usually served with lots of melted butter, like much melted butter. Wow. Yeah, and it's like I'm using this word loosely, fun seasonal activity around here. There's like different lutefisk dinners that they'll have. So it's like once a year there's a lutefisk dinner because you have to like special order it from wherever. And it smells terrible. It looks gross. And it's cod soaked in lye, covered in butter.
You know, the Italian people out this way have a cod dish similar to that called, what's they call it? Bacala. That's a stupid name, but it's dried salted cod. It's not soaked in lye. That's weird.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
sorry.
Yeah, it is weird. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Ray.
Well, I don't ingest it. So
good. It sounds like you probably shouldn't. It sounds terrible. Ray, your Mexican relatives, how they feel about lutefisk, like dried cod soaked in lye, and was that something they would like to eat?
It's possible. So they eat stuff. They eat some weird stuff, like lingua. Yeah. Have you ever had lingua?
That's like, tongue.
Cow tongue.
Yeah.
And like cow tongue, lingua tacos, stuff like that. So, so they eat some stuff that's a little odd. But it sounds like lutefisk is something that you serve to people that are new to the area. And it'll either run them out of town or you're like, hey.
It's like a gotcha.
Yeah, or they eat it and you're like, you know what? They're pretty cool. We can stick around. So it's a little like a rite of passage type thing, right? This doesn't seem like a main.
It should be.
Like that's.
I wish that was the case.
Yeah, you don't invite your best friend over, like first date, like trying to impress someone, and be like, "Yeah, let's have some lutefisk." No. It's like that's your
right.
That's your make or break.
Not a good life
choice. Go to the barcade with a side of lutefisk. Ray, do you have any questions for Lisa and Lindsey before I monopolize everything?
Well, no, because I was kind of curious how you guys get the topics. Like, where do they originate? I know you guys do some voting here and there and things like that, but like, where does it actually originate? Do you guys come up with them originally and then have people vote?
I'll let Lindsey take this one because it's a fantastic story. Good question, right?
So originally it was the two of us, and like I was kind of insistent, like we're not going to launch until we've got 20 ideas because I was like, we're going to I don't want to start something we're going to run out of ideas. Yeah. And then I have a friend, and I hope he doesn't listen to this because he will get such a big head, who one day
We're pretty popular, so.
I know.
I mean, he probably already listens, obviously.
He just sent me 150 text messages of topic ideas.
Wow.
So we have called him our ideas intern. He never brings us coffee. Nice. He's the worst intern ever, but he will just randomly come up with ideas, and it doesn't stop. And I think he did it as a joke to bother me, but then there's some really good stuff in it. So we're like, we will take it. So yeah.
But he seriously sends like 30 at a time. Yeah. So it's not like, oh, I thought of one today. It's like, oh, here's 15 new ideas before noon. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then Lindsey puts them in a shared document. And so we just kind of randomly select it from there based on our mood.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What's coming up next week?
Ooh, so it's kind of exciting because we're taking a foray into a little different of an area. We've been doing a lot of pop culture and food lately, which I feel like is pretty much our wheelhouse. But this next week we are doing the garbage and gold of wearable technologies.
Oh, and what is wearable technology, Lisa?
Thank you. Great question.
Things that are made to be worn on your person.
Okay. Like a cell phone?
So like
nope, not like a cell phone.
Like a smartwatch.
Not like a cell phone.
Google Glasses.
No.
In a holster.
Like Google Glasses, VR, like Bluetooth headpiece. A pacemaker.
Oh my God.
That's a good one. The like a smartwatch, those sorts of things are like a Fitbit, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's very exciting. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say coming up on Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday. So now,
yes, thank you.
Your podcast, Garbage and Gold. I've seen swag out there. I've seen cups and sweatshirts and all sorts of things. Right. So allow me, if you will. I was wondering if you needed a new theme song, if you could bear with me for the first couple seconds here. I think this is
my God.
This would be a great theme song for you guys.
Whatever it is, yes.
Yeah. You just got to listen to the first couple words here. This is one of my favorites. And I'll tell you about this in a second because you might know the author of most of this music. There we go. Okay. I think you should rip this one off and use this. All about bringing your swag. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you so much.
That's a preview for next week. Ray,
Very much.
the person who wrote the instrumental
So
to that
our
it's Tom. Tom from Roast Mortem. Tom
Nice.
from Roast Mortem cast. Yeah, so we're going to talk to him again next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
now, ladies, we're gonna talk about where to find your podcast and how to listen to it in a bit. I promise. But
Okay. Okay.
before we do that, I wanted to give my listeners a little preview of what Garbage and Gold is with the four of us. So I thought it would be fun to do something along the lines of the Garbage and Gold of Food Network hosts.
Yes.
Lindsay, I did a little
Yes.
research.
Yes.
So if you don't mind.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Wow.
I'm glad someone did.
It's so nice.
Yeah. So the Food Network.
I just showed up to be funny this week, so here we are.
Food Network is an American pay television channel that is owned by Television Food Network, GP, a joint venture general partnership with Discovery Inc. And it was launched. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Food Network launched on November 22nd, 1993. So it's 25 years old, which is amazing. And the Food Network is a television station devoted to food and cooking and all sorts of cooking related personalities. I watch a lot of Food Network. Ray, I don't know if you knew that. It's always on in the house here. So I have my favorites and I have the people I do not like to watch. So in the spirit of Garbage and Gold, we're going to do the Garbage and Gold of Food Network hosts, beginning with the garbage. And I don't know, let's throw it around the room. Lindsay, what is your garbage of Food Network hosts?
Okay. Well, I actually have some honorable mentions, but I'll wait because it's possible you guys picked my honorable mentions. So my garbage Food Network host is Giada. And the reason is the host of Everyday Italian and Giada at Home. She has published several cookbooks. She actually is a legit chef. She studied at Le Cordon Bleu. My issue with Giada is simply this. Like, I think she's probably a good cook. Like, when I watch, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It is her insistence on using the Italian pronunciation of the pastas that drives me crazy. And like, she was born in Italy. I understand that, but she has absolutely no accent until she needs to say spaghetti. And then suddenly she's
or
full
mozzarella,
Italian.
right?
And so that is why Giada is garbage. She is absolutely garbage because of spaghetti.
It's not because she finds a way to put her boobs on television every single time she's on.
Well, I mean, what Food Network host is
every tooth in her mouth? Yeah. She is the Food Network equivalent of a vegan, of someone who does CrossFit, of just like, did you know this thing? Did you know that I'm Italian? Right. Hey, have I told you I'm Italian? Have you heard me talk Italian words before? Let me tell you how to say mozzarella. No, girl, stop.
And it's not like she's saying Italian phrases that we don't know. We all know spaghetti. You can just say it.
Yeah.
You're not teaching us any language.
That sounds like what I do every time any Italian type word is uttered in this house. And I just put on an Italian accent and tell my kids like, it's a me, it's a Mario. And then my kids just laugh because they know I'm being crazy stupid. So it sounds like basically she's doing the same thing as me. So if she's stooping down to my level, she needs to
unironically, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like the people who say croissant instead of croissant. Like, it's a croissant.
God,
yeah. No one's impressed.
No. Croissant, but whatever. I was watching the Thanksgiving cook-off earlier this evening, and Giada's hosting this one. Lindsay, it's funny you brought her up, and my God, she wasn't doing any Italian pronunciation, but very, very inappropriate clothing for the show that we're watching. It's just, it's kind of interesting.
Seriously.
So
it's a little attention-seeking, but I feel like that's any TV host. So
yeah. Well, when you have a former relationship with Bobby Flay, I think you got to have It's got to be something.
What?
Seriously, a former illicit relationship. Oh, Lindsay, I can't believe you didn't know that. This is like the one piece of hot goss I know. Apparently,
scooped on hot
it's
goss?
from very many. You did from many years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're good friends now. So, all right. Very good, Lindsay.
I'm sure they are.
I like that's a good.
Thank
that's
you.
a good pick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ray.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is your garbage, Ray?
All right. So before I get too far into this, I got to say, I don't really watch Food Network. So I'm obviously going to hit on some of the more popular people here. I can't stand Rachel Ray. She is garbage to me. And the reason why is because every time I see her,
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Ray, because if you had asked me to predict what your garbage would be, I would have picked Rachel
it would be
Ray.
this one.
Yeah, I don't know why, but go ahead. I'm
Because
sorry.
she's trying to steal my name. That's number one. But
How dare she?
to me, every time I've seen her, she's usually on like a cooking challenge type deal or something like that when I've come across her. And when she's interacting with other people that are amateurs, she does that passive aggressive thing where she's like being really friendly, but also scolding them at the same time. And to me, it's super obnoxious. So, and I don't know what she does. She's just Rachel Ray. She's Rachel, like she's more of a brand to me than an actual chef. So to me, garbage.
Ray, you know what Rachel Ray's problem is? It's that she made the term EVOO acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah. Just say olive oil. Like, I don't need EVOO. It's just easier to say olive oil, but I gotta go EVOO. Come on.
She was in my running for gold because I think she's very relatable. And like, if you're not good at cooking, Rachel Ray is one of the shows you could watch and be like, oh, or if you're limited time, like, oh, I can do a 30-minute meal. But then I was on her Wikipedia and realized all the words she made up, which I'm doing quotes around. Like she calls a soup and stew a stoop. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. There it is.
God.
I am done.
Yeah.
She's in garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm a pretty good cook, if I do say so myself. Her stuff does not take 30 minutes because there's a lot more involved. And when you don't have a whole team cleaning up after you. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Right. And her prep of stuff.
And I don't know if you've seen the latest iteration of her show, but she actually has a timer now. She's got she's got a timer. So at the end of this one, I was headed on because it's always on in my house. She's like running around the counter to stuff the rest of her garlic bread into the sauce pot to make it in time.
Does she ever not make it on time? Like, does she ever fail?
I mean, no, because then she would, they can edit around that.
Then it's a useless gimmick.
Exactly.
It's useless.
Right.
Thank you.
I reject
It is. Did she ever, I know that she never did initially, but has she gone back to culinary school or is she still not a chef?
You know, Lisa, when you can make a lot of money on television just saying EVOO and delish and stoop, I don't think you're going to go back to culinary school. That's just me.
I was just clarifying that she is not a chef. I didn't want to say that if she did in fact go back to school for her chef degree.
Her chef degree.
I didn't know.
The chef over there is getting judgy.
Her master's in chef.
I am getting judgy. She's a Food Network personality. She is not a chef. And so it's even worse when she's all like passive aggressive, judgmental for people. Like, you are the same as me. Stop it.
Yeah.
You think because you made a panini in 30 minutes, you're hot shit. You're not. You're not. It's just enough.
She also has dog food.
So I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does have dog food. Whatever.
It's called Nutrish.
Yeah, of course it is.
She makes it in 30 minutes or less.
God, I hope so.
Yes. I like some of her stuff. Like she has like cooking like utensils. Those look good, but they're way overpriced. But
yeah.
There's some stuff that
She's a brand.
Totally.
A brand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
Garbage.
That's a good one, Ray. Thank you very much. Lisa, who is your garbage Food Network host?
Well, I will say I do have on my note here, Rachel Ray was an honorable mention for my garbage, so I'm glad that I did not stick with her just so I could have someone different, but for many of the same reasons. And I really didn't realize how passionate I was about this until Lindsay and I were talking about it this morning after our Masked Singer recap, and I kind of went on a tirade about it. And I was like, oh, this is a good garbage for me, apparently. My garbage Food Network chef is Trisha Yearwood.
Oh, gosh,
I didn't know she was a Food Network chef. So.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. Go ahead. Sorry. She's an honorable mention for garbage for me.
I think her show is called like Trisha's Home Cooking.
I think it's Southern Kitchen
or something.
Home cooking or Southern Kitchen, one of those.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's Trisha's Southern Kitchen. Let me detail for you why it's garbage. It always starts off, there's some sort of family event, which is obviously not real. But she's like, oh, I'm going to make this thing. It's a family recipe. And it's like, obviously bougie Velveeta gels and cheese. So stop. And then, it's gross. It's just gross and weird and obscure. And it's just stupid. And then she always has a song break because of course she does, because it's Trisha Yearwood. So she has like this little ad hoc like sing along in her living room while the pie is in the oven or whatever. And then she'll just kind of casually be like, oh, well, when Garth was here, like, we know you're married to Garth Brooks. No one's impressed. No one's impressed that you're making mashed potatoes. Anybody can make mashed potatoes. Trisha, it's just, like, none of her food is creative. None of it's even like remotely innovative. It's boring and dumb. And it's just like, oh, I found this recipe online. I'm going to make it. And you're going to listen to me sing. And I'm going to remind you that I'm married to Garth Brooks. Oh. No, all around. Hard pass.
Is anyone timing that rant, Lisa? Because it was...
No, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the way you described it with like the song break in the middle is like an adult cooking show version of Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, why do you have a song break in the middle? What is the point?
It is. She's like, oh, I have my friend here, and we used to go to college together. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that you're going to make brownies and expect me to be impressed. Like, I cannot. She's so full of herself. It's insane.
Lisa's like, my friend and I can make brownies too. Me and my friend Duncan Hines. We're going to make brownies.
No.
It's sad that we have to. I don't know if you're looking up recipes, if the three of you have ever looked up a recipe, and instead of just getting to the basic ingredients and the step-by-step process, you get a whole god darn story of the whole history of the recipe in that person's family.
Oh,
yes.
Like I don't need that. I don't need that in the recipes.
Flour came from.
Yeah,
when their parents immigrated to the U.S. Don't need it. I don't need it in my cooking shows. I need the ingredients. I need what I need to buy, and I need the process, and that's it. I don't care about you, your family, or anything other stupid nonsense you think I care about. I don't. And the same thing with the cooking shows. One of my honorable gold mentions, Ree Drummond, does this too, and it drives me kind of crazy, but not so bad as Trisha Yearwood. So that's a good garbage. She's charismatic, at least. Yeah. I feel like Ree is charismatic.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I do.
Lindsay, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Things like in bulk.
How dare you?
I appreciate. So anyway.
Her who's like, well, my cowboy and all this talking about the ranch all the time. Oof. No, thank
Lindsay,
you.
if I was married to a cowboy, I'd tell everybody. Okay? His name is Lad.
I mean, same.
His name is Vlad. That's fair. Yeah.
His name is Lad. Okay. All right. We have anything else you want to add in Trisha Yearwood? What does LAD stand for? I have no idea.
I think I covered it. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think I've made myself very clear.
All right. Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
Ray, how this works is now you ask, hey, Rem, what is your garbage?
So I was just, as you guys were talking, I was wondering, Rem, what is your garbage contribution?
Oh, geez, Ray, thanks for asking, buddy. I put a lot of thought into this because there's a lot of Food Network hosts and hostesses, and they all have their pluses and their minuses. But there's one who stands out to me as being my garbage Food Network host, and that is Katie Lee. Katie Lee, former wife of Billy Joel. And
I was going to say, is this because of what she did to Billy Joel?
Man, I'm getting scooped on this too. I have no idea what this is about, but I love it.
I don't know what she did to Billy Joel. All I know is that I was watching a show on Food Network, and she was at some sort of like South Carolina outdoor oyster roast, and she would not talk to anybody. She did not interact with the crowd. The crowd was around her, but she was separate. And so she's talking about these steamed oysters that she loves eating, and she didn't eat one of them on the show. She didn't talk to anybody. She didn't interact with it. She didn't eat any of the food. She just talked about it. And then she's also on this other show, The Kitchen. And she has she never looks happy. Mm-hmm. I think it's called resting bitch face. I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but like, I feel bad about myself when I'm looking at her. And then she's telling me how to cook things. I'm like, I'm just depressed now. Please stop talking to me because I'm sad. And everything just looks like it's so painful for her to try to smile or try to interact with the normal people. And there's no charisma. and it's just an empty shell of a miserable human being hiding behind a smile. And I feel sad. I feel sad for her, and I hope she gets the help and love that she needs and deserves as a human being.
She is real bad on camera. Like, you know, she might be an incredible chef, and I don't know anything about her except that she's married to Billy Joel, but like, she is bad on camera. And someone should notice that at a network and say, I don't think we should put her on camera anymore.
And she takes,
especially for something like the kitchen when there's all those personalities. Yeah. So you have like, you know, really kind of engaging, fun personalities. And then you have her and you're like, why is she here? What is she?
Exactly.
Why is she? Why did we invite her? Why we don't need her?
The only time she's ever kind of entertaining is when she's on Beat Bobby Flay, insulting Bobby Flay. And that's it. It's the only time I enjoy her. And even then it's a struggle. You should look up Katie Lee Ray.
I did Google her. She has a pretty face when she's smiling. So I didn't see any resting bitch face. When she was smiling, she looked all right.
RPF evidence. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Katie Lee. It's my garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a solid choice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Like I'm fitting in. Cool. All right. Lindsey.
You definitely did your research. That's for sure.
I did. I've been researching all night, Ray. Lindsey, let's flip it around. The things that we enjoy, the gold of our Food Network hosts. Who do you got?
Okay, before we do that, I do want to honorable mention for garbage Mario Batali. Like, if we didn't know he was a creep before, like, he's a creep, he's awful, he's gross.
I completely
and he wears
forgot
Crocs,
about him.
And so,
yeah, he wears Crocs. Him and Anne Burrell.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. She's also on my list.
Well, she was a sous chef, so obviously she's it's part of the requirement.
Yes. Was she a sous chef?
But now,
I feel like I knew that.
Yeah, an Iron Chef.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Whoa. Calm down. All right, so my gold choice, and this was difficult. I have two that are really kind of tied. So my honorable mention goes to Curtis Stone, who did Take Home Chef. Do you remember that show where he would like surprise people at the grocery store?
Like,
and then he would go home with them and cook with them. And like, he was always so kind to these, it was always women that I saw the episodes of. He was kind to these women and like talking to them about their life and like teaching them how to cook. And I was like, that is really beautiful. And so I just talked myself into having Curtis Stone as my gold, but I'm going to stick with my first choice, which is Michael Simon as my gold choice. Yes. So Michael Simon was the first winner of the next Iron Chef. So he became an Iron Chef. He also did Burgers, Brew, and Q and Food Feuds. And there is one, bad part of his career, which is his years on The Chew, but he just seems like this very nice guy who really loves food, and he keeps like opening restaurants and then closing them, but he just keeps trying different things, and he's good on camera and he's really personable. And there's an Iron Chef where he is up against a guy and the guy didn't bring any like helpers with him. And so Michael Simon kind of looks over and goes, wait, you're doing this all alone? And the guy's like, yeah. And so Michael Simon dismissed the rest of his crew and did the thing all on his own, to keep it fair. And I'm like, that is some quality. Like, you are a good person, Michael Simon. So that is why Michael Simon is my gold.
So let me ask you, Lindsey and Lisa, being in Minnesota, do you notice, and Michael Simon's a great guy. It's a great pick, Lindsey. I like Michael Simon a lot, but do you notice that accent of his?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
I'm not sure what it is.
I would say slightly, and only in certain instances. Yeah.
So I mean, he would say like accent he's got that weird thing going on there. Okay. I'm glad you guys know it. I guess it's like northern Midwest type of, almost up in Canada type of speak. Canada language.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more Chicago-y, Ohio.
Chicago. Yeah,
Chicago-y. I think it's more Chicago.
With that A, that long hard A.
Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. I will also say, just real quick before we get too far from Lindsey's gold, if Curtis Stone came up to me in a grocery store, and I did not know who he was, but he came up to me and was like, hey, I would like to go to your house and cook for you. I would know either he might kill me, but that's a risk I'm willing to take because he.
Oh, that's about the sweetest thing you could ever say to anyone.
This might be how I die, but let's go. Let's go, babe.
He's so pretty and Australian. and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we really talk about like female empowerment, but dude, yes, I will go home with you because you are great.
Wow.
And
you will know where I live now. That's
right. And you might kill me, but I also might get a really good dinner. And so pros and cons.
Exclusive on the Rich Dickman show. Holy crap. This is great.
Wow.
So you guys don't mind like the raccoon eyes that he has going on? Because I kind of have that thing going on too, where you got the dark circles under your eyes constantly.
I will tell you, it is quite obvious that Take Home Chef is staged because I have never looked that good grocery shopping ever. So those women do know he's not going to murder them because they've been through hair and makeup and probably a psychological exam.
Or some super elaborate murder scheme.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just way over the top.
Which fair play.
At this point, you got me.
You've gone through all the hoops. Good for you.
You deserve this.
I do really like Michael Simon too, though. I think he's great. I've enjoyed him on all, he's such a good personality to have on things, and he's very humble about his stuff, which I think is really great, but he's also just very, very good.
He's happy.
So
he's always smiling.
He is. He just seems like a really nice guy.
He is the opposite of Katie Lee. He's very good on camera.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Ray, that's a good one, Lindsay. Thank you very much. Ray, who is your Gold Food Network host?
All right. So this ends up being, to me, parallels with what Lindsay said, in that it's someone that I feel is somewhat genuine. And especially the food is more genuine. Which ends up being Guy Fieri. Now, I know he's kind of a weirdo, right?
Yes.
But like, no one does what he does that's like, I don't know, maybe he is faking it, but the thing that I like is like what?
I love this choice so much.
The triple D, right? The diners, drive-ins. Okay.
Yeah. No, we know who he is. Yeah, go ahead.
But what I like that he goes to like diners and things like that, places where you can just go and eat. You know, like, it's not some elaborate whatever it is. Like, oh my God, I got to spend 3 hours whisking this pot of whatever. Like, no, you just go out and find some cool food, and he's finding places that are like, oh yeah, that looks like something I could actually go enjoy, and I don't have to be some high roller to enjoy it or something like that. Yeah. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Yes,
Ray.
5 plebs, 4 plebs, and
I just got a text from Rich Dickman. He needs to meet with you tomorrow. Because we have a problem, Ray. God darn it, Ray! Testing my improv tonight. All right, yeah, Guy Fieri. That's a good choice.
Exactly.
That's a really good choice, Ray. That was.
Because he goes to these like random places with these people who are obviously like just line cooks, and he somehow makes a show out of that with these people who are not articulate, and he genuinely loves them, and he loves the food, and I'm here for it all day.
Mm-hmm.
Guy
if I ever get stuck in a hotel room, you know, like traveling, and you're flipping through the channels, and you're like, oh, here's MASH, here's Friends, here's whatever it is. You switch to whatever he's doing. You go, I could watch this. I could kill a little bit, and you just
I haven't like Triple G. I like Guy's Grocery Games. I can get down with that. I think it's fun.
Guy Fieri is the embodiment of the Food Network. All right, he is that cult of personality. He is that face that you recognize. He makes people interesting, and he thinks people are interesting, and he loves food. Between the diners, drivers, and dives, which makes me want to go explore. Like whenever I'm in a new city, I will go to some place that's just a dive and just check it out. And with the Guy's Grocery Games, at the end, when the people are rushing around for $20,000, he's actually helping them do it, like giving them head starts and stuff. It's great. Yeah. He's just a fantastic personality. And I remember watching him on the very first Food Network Star, and I was rooting for some other guy to win. I don't even remember who anymore, but I was happy Guy did. Now, Guy's Big Bite, the first season, not so great. But they did this thing, Guy's Ranch, where he invites other top chefs over to his ranch, and they're all cooking outside. That's fantastic. It's just a great
I haven't seen that one.
gathering. Yeah, it's new to me. I haven't seen it for a couple weeks ago. But Guy Fieri is a top gold choice. Ray, it's a really good choice. You jerk. It's a really good choice.
Whoops.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to give praise to Guy Fieri before we move on? Or we could be good.
Well, yeah, I will just do it quick.
Yes.
Like you were saying when you were out and about and you'll try going to a dive or whatever. It first of all reminded me a little bit of meeting Curtis Stone in the grocery store of like, he may kill me or this could be really great. Same with a dive. Like this may wreck my guts or this is going to be the best thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
So again, same dive. I feel it. I get it. I will also say I love going to a restaurant somewhere that has like the diners, drive-ins, and dives logo on the window. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look. And I just get all like fangirly about it because it's super exciting to know that it was on there. And then like people publish that. It's just really cool.
Do you think the new ad campaign for Food Network show should just be, this might kill me, but it could be awesome? Like, I feel like that is any good ones. That's the theme. So
I think if we brainstorm that for a couple hours, I think we could make some money off that, Lindsay. That's really good. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guy was actually at a diner in my hometown of Middletown, Connecticut. That's right. And O'Rourke's Diner, a diner I've never been into because there's always a line and I refuse to wait in a line to go eat breakfast. But it was nice that he went in there and I got to see what the guy's offering. Turns out not really interested in what he has. So I'm glad he did that for me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Nice. Lisa, who is your Gold Food Network host?
So I do have some honorable mentions for my gold. I do have Guy Fieri on my list, so very good. My next honorable mention is Chef Jeffrey Zakarian because he just has like this debonair air about him and he's just like so fancy and you think like he could not possibly have time for me and then he's on the kitchen and you're like, oh, he's like a normal guy. That's still beautiful.
Lisa, he does the suit jacket with one button and he rolls his sleeves up. It's great.
Yes, he smells like fresh pine and it's just, oh my God, I just love Jeffrey Zakarian. He's wonderful. My other honorable mention is Masaharu Morimoto, just because he's such a nice dude and he's so good on Iron Chef and he's just like he's just so happy. Like he's so sincerely happy. Just like his knife skills are crazy and all the things he does are crazy. So I really like Morimoto, but finally, my actual gold, my real gold, who I found out earlier today is my Food Network Iron Chef spirit animal, is Chef Alex Gornishelli.
Okay, go ahead.
the gas.
Yeah.
Did you clutch your pearls just then? Do you need some smelling salts? You doing okay?
I'm doing all right. I'm a big fan of hers. So go ahead. I'll add my thoughts after you're done.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, like I said, Lindsay and I did a personality test earlier today of our who is our Food Network spirit animal. Lindsay was not super thrilled with her results, but I got Alex Gornishelli, and I was not chill about it because I love her. I love her on Chopped. That's how I first got to know her better. Yeah. Was on that, and just she's so down to earth and she's wonderful and she walks that line between being like a hard ass and being like, supportive. So she does a really good job of that. But okay, this is what Food Network has to say about Iron Chef Alex Gornishelli and also Lisa of Garbage and Gold podcast because we're the same. Just like Alex, your penchant for cooking comes from a deeply rooted love of eating. Yes. Your tastes are varied, but your wants are simple. Yes. You, like Alex, appreciate fresh quality ingredients presented in the simplest, most classic form. Yes. Be it a frosted chocolate layer cake. Yes. Or a deeply savory duck confit. Yes. Mm-hmm. So all those things that Alex is, I am also, and I love that about her, especially as an Iron Chef, because she went through that contest of Next Iron Chef, whatever. And she's super good and everybody knows she's super good, but she still seemed honestly surprised whenever she would win because she just has this humility about her that's so wonderful. And she's still creative and she does things kind of like how Bobby Flay will do like I'm going to keep things simple, but doesn't do it as well as Alex. Like there's just something about how she handles food that's great. And finally, the most amazing reason why. Oh, no, I have another thing. Her relationship with her daughter is fantastic. Okay. But the biggest thing is that Alex's restaurant is called Butter. And I love her for that. And I think it's the best name of a restaurant ever. Butter.
Is her restaurant in New York, Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to make Chris O.C. take me there, Ray. That is a fantastic pick. Alex Guarnaschelli was an honorable mention for me. She is just amazing. She never loses. I've never watched a competition show that she was in that she's lost.
Right.
She is fantastic.
Correct.
Yeah. Correct. And as you said, she's no nonsense. She borders on that hard ass edge, but she's just top notch. And I love Alex. I love everything Alex Guarnaschelli. I wish my personality matched with her. I don't know what personality test you took.
I'll send you the link so you
Yes.
can find out who you are.
Yeah.
You must have like a long bookmark history list of personality test sites for like.
I made up the Mario Kart
You do
one.
that.
I did
No,
that myself,
you
okay?
definitely clickbait. Every time it's like, you want to know what Harry Potter character you are? You're like, click.
Yeah.
I got it.
Obviously, yeah. I need to know what bread I am. Obviously, I'm going to find out. This is very important.
Is it 2019 if you're not spending 2 hours a week taking a BuzzFeed quiz or some other quiz to find out more about yourself?
Seriously.
I can tell you which member of NSYNC I am. I can tell you what my favorite color is. I can tell you what the color of my aura is simply from a BuzzFeed quiz, and it's amazing. I know so much more about me.
You know,
Yeah.
one time, it might have been around the time I was listening to Triple T when Rem was doing that, but I remember taking it wasn't a personality test, but it was like a what career should you have test, because I was like, man, I don't really like my job that much. So it was this site that said that it was like touting itself as being really impressive, right? So it said you get 5 free, you pay and it'll tell you what your best matches are, or you pick 5 of, they have like a bazillion different options, and it'll tell you what your rating is for those. It'll tell you what your rating is for those. So I picked like 4 careers that I thought, I might want to do these. And it comes and says like, here's your match for those. And because I couldn't think of a 5th career, I just picked stripper, and that was like my highest match. And I was like, damn it. Well, I'm definitely somehow in the wrong profession.
Right.
Well,
so apparently I should
you do have that picture, Ray. You do have that picture. So good for you.
Not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah.
You just take your dream to happen, Ray.
You just tell your daughters you're just making money for their college. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what a test told me I needed to be one day. Okay, so this is just who I am. Accept me or don't.
That's right. This is 2019, man. This is the internet.
Yeah.
It tells me how to live my life. That's right.
Exactly.
Does anybody want to add anything to Alex Guarnaschelli? Because I could fawn over her all day. I won't.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. All right. Ray. This is where you ask me what my goal is, right?
So we've come to the point of the show where it's time. Rem, I'm curious, who is your gold?
It's so
Celebrity
natural.
chef
It's such
pro.
a natural delivery of that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, it's like
From
we
the
do
food
this all the time.
Yeah, we got great chemistry. We've rehearsed this thousands of times. So yeah, no problem. Thank
we
you,
would
Ray,
definitely rehearse.
for asking. I was eager to jump in here. Well, I have to say, Rayzo, that you stole most of my thunder with your pick of Guy Fieri as gold.
Oh.
So I'm going to have to go with one of my honorable mentions, because Guy was my gold pick, and I was certain he would have been somebody's garbage pick, because there's a lot of Guy Fieri hate out there that I just don't get.
There is.
But yeah,
Not here.
it's a discussion for another day. Okay. I mentioned Ree Drummond. I love her. I love the pioneer woman, and I love the style of cooking that she has. And Jeffrey Zakarian, of course, he is wonderful. Even that weird Jeff Morrow. I like watching him because he's funny. But
Yeah.
my gold that, I just came up with in the last 10 minutes is, Alton Brown. Mr. Alton Brown himself, the creator and host of Good Eats, and he's hosts all sorts of shows in the Food Network. Alton Brown taught me how to butcher a chicken. He taught me how to sear a steak. He taught me how to make mayonnaise from scratch. He taught me how to make a cake from scratch. He taught me a lot with his Good Eats science-based cooking show. And there is a reboot out there as well. The Good Eats Returns, or the Return of Good Eats. Something to that effect. I don't remember the exact title. That's okay. But Alton Brown presents his facts in a very no nonsense, straightforward approach with some fun involved when he plays himself or his skanky brother. who wears the bandana backwards and the sunglasses. And yeah, Alton Brown is a great teacher for me. And, Ray, I don't know if you knew this about me, Ray, but I like to cook and I like to experiment with things, especially the last couple of months for some reason. I don't know why. I was at my parents' house last night for my father's birthday. Happy birthday, Papa Rem. He's 71. My God. And I was yelling at my mother because she didn't salt her steaks properly, which I learned from Alton Brown. Here's a tip, Lisa, Lindsey, Ray, and everybody listening. If you're going to make a steak, all right, you need to learn how to reverse sear that thing. But salt. You cannot over salt a steak. Throw some salt on that thing, both sides, for at least an hour before, and let it soak in. And you'll be thanking me later. Okay. But Alton Brown is my gold choice.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. I like that he adds the element of suspense without it being cheesy. Like it is like you going to commercial breaks. It's always somewhat cheesy. Oh, what's going to happen? But he does it and you kind of go, I actually want to see what's going to happen next. And so you stick around. I like him. He's entertaining. Definitely.
Potentially divisive question. Is Alton Brown as fun now that he's thinner? I'm throwing it out there.
I will say
I was going to bring this up if you hadn't. Okay. So thank you.
I will say Alton Brown's lack of hair and weird baldness does kind of put me off.
Yeah, there was I don't know what trauma happened to him, but there was a shift because Alton Brown on the original Good Eats and Alton Brown now, he's like a husk of his former self. So I would say I agree with you that classic Alton Brown is gold for sure. Current Alton Brown might have bodies in his basement. There is something not right with him.
Yeah.
There is something that's not right with him.
He's dead behind the eyes.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
He is dead behind the eyes. And I was so excited when he was going to be the host of Iron Chef America. I was like, oh, it'll be great. And I was like, oh, he's not good at this. He hates his life. Yeah. Like, I don't know if he sold his soul to Food Network and regretted it immediately. I don't know what it is. I will say, one of my favorite things about Alton Brown is how much he openly despises Giada. That makes me very happy. Anytime they're on together, he makes them ruthlessly, and I love it. So that I can get behind. But I don't know. I want to love Alton Brown more than I do.
Yeah.
I will say my judgment may be clouded.
Choice, but
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Thank you. My buddy Chris O.C. is a big Alton Brown fan. He's seen the Alton Brown live show. I don't know if you knew he was touring, but apparently he's touring.
Wow.
So we get to compare Alton Brown notes every once in a while. So that helps. Also, my original gold choice was stolen by my co-host. So I'm just making this up as we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that again, so we could remember that again. No problem. But again, I think that Alton Brown did do a lot of teaching because there's a lot of things that I still do in cooking that I learned from Alton Brown. So I agree with you. I think like as far as a cornerstone of cooking, he's amazing. And he's, how he integrates the science of like, why does this thing happen? This is why it happens. Like, that was really cool. It was a super unique concept for a show. I love Good Eats. I could still watch Good Eats every day for the rest of my life. I just don't know what happened to him. There's some dark turning point in his life, and I cannot wait for the documentary about it to find out what happened
Lisa,
to him.
we should make up like a true crime podcast about Alton Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. Go ahead.
That'd be so good. Oh my gosh, I don't remember what I was going to say. No, I do. Because I think so often on Food Network, I'm watching it going, I can't make that. And like, it's so discouraging. And so for Alton Brown to take the time to like teach us how to do some things so we can like maybe do something that, somebody's making, Michael Simon's making, like that is a nice thing. It's a nice, like, oh, I don't suck at everything. I can maybe do that.
Yeah. Yeah, he does both extremes. Like he'll teach you how to make homemade pancakes, and then he will also teach you how to make your own deep fried turkey system. Like just all of that, just the whole gamut. And I love that about him because then it like kind of hits you wherever your level is.
I'm debating whether to deep fry a turkey for this Thanksgiving in a couple of weeks, and I'm already kind of imagining where to put the ladder and the pulley system and the fryer and the hooks and the ropes. Yeah.
Otherwise, you will explode.
Apparently,
yes,
if you don't do it the Alton Brown way, you'll explode. You'll burn down your house and half the neighborhood as well.
Yes, you will. That's exactly what happens. He's trying to tell you.
Living on the edge is kind of adds a fun element to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. All right. So at this point, either Lindsey or Lisa would be recapping our garbage and gold, which I will do as the host of the Rich Dickman Show because I wrote all these down because I'm a gosh darn professional. So our garbage choices, Lindsey chose Giada De Laurentiis and Ray chose Rachel Ray and Lisa chose Trisha Yearwood and Rem chose Katie Lee. And our gold choices.
Why are all
Lindsey
our garbage
chose,
just girls?
Oh my gosh!
I did think about that.
Oh no, feminism.
So
you know,
sexist.
Lindsey, we're an equal opportunity offender on the Rich
Okay.
Dickman Show, so
Yeah.
we don't take gender
Perfect.
into account.
Okay. Okay.
But you're gonna. Oh,
yeah,
actually,
we didn't even realize that they were all female.
Yeah, our gold choices. Lindsey chose Michael Simon, and Ray chose Guy Fieri, and Lisa chose Alex Gordon-Shelley, and Rem chose Alton Brown. So that's 4 guy names, Lindsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I had a moment where I was like, oh no, are all the golds guys? Because then I had to choose the answer. And I don't like any female Food Network hosts, so I got worried. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Who am I gonna
I tell you what, I actually thought they were all males for a second. I had to remember Alex was a female because, Evan Williams is in my brain. So, all right. So at this point, you would then go to the garbage and gold, tweet and you would vote hashtag Lindsey or hashtag Lisa. Don't vote on this one, you guys, because I already know who won. It's me. So I won. Thank you. Also, we wouldn't get any votes anyway, so that's cool. But this is fun. I always wanted to do, ever since I started listening, I wanted to do a garbage and gold. So I finally got to do one. And this is my master plan, just to get you guys on the show in order to do it without stealing your stuff. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ray, do you have anything left for Lindsey or Lisa or anything you want to add, Ray?
I have no further questions or anything like that. I mean, I think you guys have been awesome to have around. I have no.
Aren't you going to ask your groupies question, Ray?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Do you guys? I could do that. Do you guys have any groupies or people that spend a little extra time chasing you guys around?
Not your world famous podcaster.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, we have staff. So we have a show illustrator, we have a fact checker, and we have a ideas intern. So yeah, I mean, I would consider them.
Yeah, we need a staff.
Groupies are the next logical step in that.
I not that I'm aware of. Maybe there's like a subreddit somewhere that I'm not familiar with, but yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be wild though? If you hop on Reddit and all of a sudden there's just like a garbage and gold subreddit that you didn't know about.
It's like massive.
I would know that we've made it.
Yeah.
Like that would be like, oh, we made it. We have a subreddit.
So Lisa,
One
Lindsey.
day.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight. You've classed this joint up quite a bit over from our last few episodes.
Oh, good.
Where
I know Matt was on your last episode, so I appreciate that very much.
We were down in the garbage of Rich Dickman episodes. The garbage was last week with Matt. Yeah, there you go, Matt, buddy.
Yeah,
I heard what Dave said about this show. Don't make me start swearing. Okay. But where can we find the Garbage and Gold podcast and where can we get some of that sweet, sweet swag?
Yeah. I will shill us. So you can go, we have a website, garbagegoldpod.com, and all of the stuff is there. So, it's our Twitter and our Instagram handles, Garbage Gold Pod. Yeah, Garbage Gold Pod. Yep. It's those things. We are on all of the different podcast players. So Garbage and Gold Podcast, search, you'll find us. It'd be great. And right now what we're doing is if you vote for our episodes and you use the hashtags like you're supposed to, because those are the rules, you'll be entered to win some exclusive swag. So that's what we're doing for swag right now. We had a merch order a while back, so we don't have any merch on demand right now, but we're doing giveaway stuff for the moment. Okay. So
I entered.
That is. Oh, thanks. I haven't checked it. That's Lindsey's job. So thank you.
And it might get tallied. It might not. We'll see.
Might not. We'll see how she's feeling. Yeah. So.
All right. Very good. So, this was so much fun. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lindsey, for coming on and talking some Garbage and Gold, the Food Network hosts. This was better than I had ever expected, and I really appreciate it.
I thought it was going to be subpar, and it wasn't. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
no, my big issue here is Ray. I didn't think Ray was putting into work, and apparently he did.
I did a little bit of research.
Just
Enough to steal your
yeah,
soul.
just enough to screw me up.
Just
So I didn't have anything to say. You jerk. All right. So what do we got? So we have next week. I'm sorry. Just remind me again what we have next week, because I'm drawing a blank.
Wearable technologies.
All right, wearable tech. And are we doing garbage and gold, a Thanksgiving food for the week after, or are we doing a Thanksgiving theme?
Absolutely, we have to do Thanksgiving themed. We like to be, timely with that kind of stuff. Absolutely.
If it's going to release after, do you do like Thanksgiving leftovers?
Ooh, Thanksgiving leftovers might be a garbage or a gold choice, though.
Oh, true. That factors in. That definitely factors in.
This is our thing. Can you just let the professionals do what we do?
I know, right? Yeah.
And
I've done 5 minutes of research. How would I know?
How dare you think that we haven't planned this out? Like, we have this set. We know exactly when to release before Thanksgiving. How dare you think that we schedule it for after? Because one of us here plans, and it's Lisa, and so we are set.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are great.
Calendar.
Lisa, Lindsey, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. We'll let you go now, and we'll you know what? We should do this again sometime. We should come back in a few weeks, and we should do garbage and gold to something else ridiculous that you won't touch on your show, like garbage and gold of home foundations or water heaters or something. Yeah,
perfect.
Power tools.
Yeah, garbage and gold of power tools.
Okay, thank you so much for having us on. We'll never be back again.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Good night.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
They're awesome.
That was fun. That was so much fun. Yeah. that was. I need a moment. To
stretch your brain.
Yeah. All right, Ray. So we have a little bit left here on the show. Again, thank you to Lisa and Lindsey for coming on, and thank you, Ray, for stealing my gold. Yeah,
my bad.
Yep.
I thought I was picking like super obvious ones too that you wouldn't have, because the thing is like you actually. Well, I don't know how much you watch the show, but you're far more familiar with it. So I thought you were going to have a little deeper dives, and I, with my lack of knowledge, was hitting on the obvious ones.
Well, I'll be completely honest here, Ray, is that I thought that freaking Guy Fieri would be somebody's garbage, because there's a lot of Guy Fieri hate out there. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently not. Apparently people share our opinion of my man Guy Fieri. So that's right.
Yeah, I thought I was going to catch a lot of flack when I said gold for him, and everyone would be like, "Wow, you're an idiot." So that's why I'm surprised that you were even going to get remotely close to picking him. So that is a surprise. Wow, great minds.
So, all right, Ray, what do you want to do now? You want to talk about what we've been up to this week and complain about shit, or do you want to jump into Dick of the Week? We don't have a Svensson Dick of the Week, so we can if we had to push it off a week, that's fine too.
There are a couple good Dick of the Weeks, but do you want to talk about, there's a couple things that, I want to see that you have to talk about, like, Disney Plus. Have you checked that out?
I did, Ray. I did check out Disney Plus.
So what day did that launch? Didn't that just launch? Like within
it launched on the 12th, which was Tuesday. Okay. And I had to come home for lunch for a little bit. And during that time period, I signed up. I upgraded the Hulu account, because Disney Plus is offering the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus package.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I got all that. Man, let me tell you something about Disney Plus, my brother. Classic Mickey Mouse. All right? Classic Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you about Classic Mickey Mouse, Ray, is that Classic Mickey Mouse is better than any freaking cartoon that you will see anywhere today. All right. Classic Mickey Mouse and classic Looney Tunes are amazing. And now I have, the Mickey, the boat builder is there, and Mickey's RV, and all those great cartoons from 1937, 1938, 1939. And I can watch them with my kids, and my kids enjoy them much more than any of the other crap they see on television anywhere today. So it's great. that's there. I got
what do
my
you
parents.
think makes them that much better than today's stuff?
Here's what makes them better, Ray, is that there's no message. Okay. And Mickey, the boat builder, they're building a boat that comes in a box. So the joke is this boat comes in a box and they're putting it together. And at the end, it all falls apart because you can't build a boat out of a box. There's no social message where you have to be nice to everybody or any of that nonsense. You know, Goofy falls in love with a statue. He thinks a statue is a woman. So he's trying to like catcall her and everything, but it's a statue. But Mickey takes the statue away and the statue gets caught on on the steam horn on the boat. So Goofy thinks that the statue's calling to him like, yoo-hoo. And so he's trying to chase it and then he falls off the boat and it's hilarious. And Donald, he's painting the rudders and Mickey is putting the steering wheel, I guess it's a steering wheel on for the rudders on and he's turning it back and forth and hitting Donald in the face and has no idea he's doing it. And Donald's getting pissed off. He's getting hit in the face. It's great. It's just fun. There's no message. It's just fun.
You know what it's like.
And that's it. Yeah. So that's what's great about the old Mickey cartoons.
It's enjoyable because it's wholesome comedy. And I would honestly, if we want to plug a previous show, it's like Bob Ross in a way that like you just sit down, there's no message. You just enjoy it. There's no trying to steer you in a direction of this or that, or, oh, we have to make sure that we talk about this. It's literally, they're just trying to make comedy and that's all they do. And it's enjoyable.
Yeah. It's like in Mickey's RV adventure. All right. Goofy is driving. And he's not paying attention to what he's doing. And Mickey's making breakfast. And so Mickey reaches out of the RV and chops a few ears of corn as they're going past a freaking cornfield. Something so simple. It's like he just reaching out the window and chopping corn to make corn for breakfast. And then, when it's time for breakfast, Mickey rings the bell and Goofy leaves the car and jumps into the RV to have breakfast. So the car is driving itself. And then they look at each other like,
yes. Who's
driving the RV? And Goofy's like, oh, I'm supposed to be. And then hilarity ensues. It's simple funny. And it's great. Yeah.
So you don't have to rack your brain on, are they including a certain type of person?
Yeah. Is there somebody with disabilities here? I mean, Goofy has disabilities, obviously.
Enjoy it for what it is. Yeah.
Right. You don't have some actor in a wheelchair pretending that his legs don't work. You know, just having comedy, man. Just having comedy. Like, geez.
I love it.
That's it.
Now, do they really have like pretty much every Disney thing? Did you try and do a deep dive on that?
There is a lot. I don't know that it's every. I think what's happening is that there's expiration dates on some things so they can cycle in new content. I was going through it. My father's birthday, as I said, was yesterday. So I set them up with the Disney Plus account as well. And cause my father likes a lot of that stuff. Plus all the Marvel stuff is there, all the Star Wars. Anything they have a deal with Netflix on, they have to wait till Netflix is done with it before they can put it on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't look like every single Marvel movie is there, but I'm sure at some point they will be.
There's probably a couple I haven't seen. So that's good call.
But Mary Poppins is on there and like all that old, really classic Disney stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's really cool. And I look forward to, I don't know if you've seen The Mandalorian, but The Mandalorian
that's what I was just about to ask you.
It was excellent. I was captivated the entire way through. I mean, the guy barely said 3 words, but I was like, wow, this is actually really good. This is really good Star Wars. So I'm in, man.
And I watched that 2 days after being in Star Wars Land in Disneyland, so I was even more captivated.
Was Star Wars Land amazing? As shitty as I hear, or was Star Wars Land good?
So that's kind of a touchy subject because I was down there with a bunch of people and I was really mad the entire time. Because this is a clean episode, I was saying lots of things like barnacles and golly gee and dag nabbit. So basically I was in Disneyland for one day, Sunday. First of all, that's football Sunday. So strike one. Second of all, there's a hell of, people. I was about to say, hell of fish sticks people. So there was lines and we had some miscommunication because my wife was like, hey, we got a fast pass. And she texted me the thing. And I was like, oh, sweet. It says Star Wars Land. So I went over there. We all went over to Star Wars Land. Nope. It was for the Cars ride. So we were in the wrong area. So I went on one ride in Star Wars Land, which is still fun. But we were there at Disneyland for like 13 hours or something like that. I went on like 5 rides. That's it. Like it's ridiculous.
Did you have blue milk?
What is that?
They serve blue milk like there. Yeah, no, stupid ass.
No, I did not.
Oh.
No. So we went into one of the little Star Wars diners, which has like, it was badass, dude. You go in there, there's like a little outside of it. There's like a barbecue, like a Star Wars looking barbecue with like some little animals roasting on there. You go in the little restaurant and there's like everything's hard. Like you're sitting on barrels. He's like not comfortable at all. But it's super Star Wars like. And my wife and kids are like, this place sucks. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is totally like Star Wars. And there's like a gigantic, like life size, Millennium Falcon just like right in the middle there, which is incredible just to see something, like to actually see basically the Millennium Falcon to scale. And you walk around the corner, and there's like X-Wing and a B-Wing. It's like, it's just cool. And you get right next to him. It's amazing. Wow. And one of the funnest things, they had little like R2-D2, like miniature, like, 12-inch tall R2-D2 type of little droid that a guy would go kind of hide in the corner, and he's remote controlling it, but the kids can't see him. And it like drives around and he's like moving it around through the crowd. And my kids, he went off in the corner. My kids were like, what is that? And it's moving around, right? Little RC type droid. And I was like, hey kids, like a few feet away, I was like, hey, do you think it has any food? And the guy could like control it. And so he like made it shake its head no and stuff like that. And I was like, do you think we can take it home? And he's like, no, and stuff like that. And I was like, do you think it wants to play tag? And it was like making little like flashing lights. And so like the kids started chasing it and stuff. Like, I don't know, it was pretty cool. We just didn't go on very many rides.
Did you interact with any of the character actors, like the stormtroopers or anything?
No, I didn't see any. Now, if you go into, is it Tomorrowland? They do have stormtroopers over there. Last time I was there, they had those guys walking around because they do some Star Wars stuff over there, not in Star Wars Land. But those guys are pretty funny because they will say some stuff like, get that guy. And they'll like, kind of, like, keep your hands off. And like,
sexually assault him.
Which is,
yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, it's pretty funny because they actually yell stuff. So it is pretty, I don't know, just overall, like you walk in and it looks like a movie set, or I guess Star Wars Land, because the buildings have like debris falling off of them. They look like they've been hit by blasters and stuff. It's pretty cool. And like, dude, there's no signs. Sorry, there's no son of a nutcracker. There's no signs. So you don't know what you're going into. So you're like, well, here's a building with a doors, because it's all in like whatever Star Wars language. So you're like, what is this? And you walk in, you're like, oh, it's a shop. Okay, well, let me go out. And you go to the next one. Oh, here's the restaurant. And they're like, here's you can find where the lines for the rides are. But other than that, like, you don't know what anything is. So you're just going to wander around. But it's pretty interesting. But The Mandalorian, what did you, I thought it was entertaining. Going back to that, I thought it was really entertaining. The ending was, to me, a surprise because I had no idea what was going to happen. Obviously it's just the first episode, but.
Oh, I love that. I couldn't figure out what time period it was in, but it turns out it comes after Return of the Jedi. But yeah, no, listen, I like a guy who doesn't say much and like beats the shit out of people. And that's what the Mandalorian is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then that droid deal that he had going on with the droid, and he shot it in the head. I mean, it's fantastic. It's just, it was good. Oh. Yeah. It was really well done Star Wars. Not too many the scenery wasn't too elaborate. But I don't need it to be. Yeah, I'm interested in the story now. So cool. Yeah. I gotta, Ray, I'm sorry. I gotta bring the show down for a minute. All right. We had a great time with Lisa and Lindsey of Garbage and Gold, and we're learning about your Star Wars adventure and all that stuff. But Ray, I've noticed this too much in my recent few days is parking lots. If you want to see the worst of humanity, go to a parking lot and watch a parking lot for a little while, and you'll see how terrible people are at everything. Between people who don't know how to back into spaces, between people who don't know how to wait properly for their space, between people who don't know how to back up out of a space to get out of there and have to do like a 16-point turn to back out of a space. Parking lots are where the dregs of society exist. I've been in several parking lots this week for whatever reason, Ray. I don't know why. And it's just been a terrible experience every single time. Either like I'm almost getting hit or people are parking like idiots. Like I feel like Svensson right now. But just Like, nobody knows how to act in a parking lot anymore. Like, what's so hard about pulling into a parking space? People got to get fucking fancy with it, man. Instead of just like pulling into a parking space, they got to pull through while I'm trying to pull into a parking space. Like, okay, really? Did you have to pull through? There's no need for that. And so I lost a parking space because I have to go back around. And then you have people who are like trying to stay up front. And so they don't have any blinkers on, but they're waiting for somebody to back out, and you don't know what they're doing. So now you're standing there. Like, your life is held hostage by their stupid decisions. And then people walking through the parking lots, like no cars are coming or they don't care. That's the worst. Come on, man. I mean, I'm not trying to hit anybody in a parking lot, but Jesus Christ, if you're going to walk through the parking lot in the middle of an aisle, and like, what do you expect is going to happen? Are you asking to get hit by a car, or do you just not have any awareness of where your presence is in the world? It's like, we don't need this. We're wasting time, precious time. Our most valuable commodity in life is time, because we only have a finite amount of it. And we're wasting it in parking lots between people walking slow, or people not knowing how to park, or doing or just parking like normal human beings. Just come on, just pull into a goddamn spot. And it doesn't have to be up front. You know what? You could use some of that exercise walking from back of the aisle all the way to the front of the store. You don't need to have to park in front and wait there like an idiot for some guy while he's loading his groceries. And, 20 minutes later, you're still waiting there, holding up everybody else behind you. Just come on, man. Can we just be decent to each other again? What happened? Social media happened, Ray. Social media. That's what happened. Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's the same thing. Like I always say, I roll through every GD stop sign. Why? Because if there's no one at the intersection, what am I going to do? Sit here at a stop sign? Like, why sit here? If I'm sitting at a stoplight, there's literally no one around. Why am I going to sit here at a red light? Just go through the intersection. It's the same thing as a stoplight or a stop sign. Just go. Same thing when you go in a parking lot. Like, let's not waste time waiting for that one of the 3 front spots to be open. Why? What time are you saving? What, you can't walk another 10 spots? Just park and walk in. It's faster. You get on with your life. It doesn't make sense that people sit there waiting for the first couple spots, like, as if you can't walk that far, get your handicap parking license or whatever it is, then you can park in a handicap. Otherwise, walk from wherever the first spot is and get in and get out. Like, why?
And we're getting to Christmas season where the malls are going to be filled and department stores, the stores going to be filled. I will literally park in the last parking spot and walk forward because I just don't want to deal with the bullshit. I just want to get in and get out and get my stuff done, and that's it. And I don't understand how people can just parking lots make me mental, right? They just make me mental.
So I spent 5 days in LA. So I literally, so the first thing we did, got the rental car, and I said, we pull out and we start getting on the freeway, and I go, girls, look, it's a Los Angeles, parking lot. And they're like, I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, it's a freeway. Like, we're stopped. They're like, I don't get it. I'm like, kids, you're useless. But basically all of LA was me driving through traffic, or in Disneyland trying to push my way through crowds. So I completely understand what you're saying. And you know what I do? I got this double stroller, right? So I'm trying to work my way through crowds. And you know what you see all the time when Disneyland's crowded as hell, and you see the person in front of you walk in, and then they decide, I'm just going to stop and take a picture of the tree or whatever. So and it's like, oh, now you got to stop. And then someone runs into you. And so that was the thing that I was doing, like, every, 30 seconds is you basically buzz by them, probably run over their toes. And then you just, they go by you, you just, bitch, get out of the way. Just everybody, dude, literally everybody. And I'm like pushing little kids through the store. But Jesus Christ, people, get out of the way. Like, it is frustrating. I'm with you. We need like foot traffic laws. That's what we need.
We can't get laws, Ray. We get tolls. We don't get laws. We get taxed more. Ray, let's do some thinking with your dick, man, and let's close this one out. Right? We can come back next week. We're going to record a lot next week, so we'll have plenty of content.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's so time for the thinking with your dick.
Jesus, it's this one.
Send in your
keep
questions,
forgetting,
and we'll give you some advice. For example,
don't you get paid for this?
Public restroom helps with sound quality.
I wouldn't pay you for this.
What are you doing?
Actually, Rich Edmund might not pay you for this. After you stole Guy Fieri from me.
Maybe we'll be able to give you better advice than what that homeless
Maybe.
guy
Got
gave
the
me.
contracts.
That'd be justifiable. Yeah.
All right. It's thinking with your dick, man. Go ahead.
I'm currently dating a guy. Janet writes in and says, I'm currently dating a guy who will be my future husband, even though he isn't convinced yet. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah. I've told him multiple times that we'll end up married for the rest of our lives, but he doesn't believe me. How can I make him love me as much as I love him? Well, that's a good question, Janet.
Oh, man. Well, Janet, I got, I don't know that I have very good news for you. Janet, here's the problem.
Solution.
Yeah. He will never reciprocate the feelings you have for him because your feelings are too intense or too extreme. You need to back off, Janet. If you want this man to be your husband, I assume his name is Jason or something. If you want him to be your husband,
probably, yeah.
You need to back off and stop with that. Hey, I'm telling you, we're going to get married. He does not want to hear that. I don't know how old you are. I kind of need that information because if you guys are in your 20s, you should not even be thinking about marriage. All right. That should be the last thing that you think about. Like the super last thing that you think about. But if you're in your 30s, it's a different story. But, Janet, if you're telling somebody that they're going to be your husband and you keep insisting you're going to get married, you are scaring that person off, especially if they're afraid of commitment, especially if they're in their 20s. You should not be acting that way. You should make it his idea to want to get married to you, Janet. And I would advise never getting married. Actually, not until you're in mid to late 30s to get married. You should enjoy your young 20s and early 30s as much as possible. But if you tell him he's going to get married to you, he will never get married to you. You need to make it his idea. So ease off the crazy. Take your foot off the gas, that crazy gas, okay? And let him drive for a while. Make it his idea. And he will find, if it is true love, if it is meant to be, he will find that love for you that you have for him. But if you keep insisting, like for me, Ray, if somebody tells me I have to do something, I'm unlikely to do that thing because I've been told to do it.
Accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we'll see about that.
If it's my idea and I think I'm in charge, well, hey, all hands on deck. Let's do this thing. Okay. So Janet, you need to ease off the crazy, baby. You need to ease off that crazy and make it Jason's idea. Make him want to marry you.
Yeah. So the college that I went to had an alarmingly high rate. There was, boys and girls, if you will, dorms. So they were separate. So there was only certain days that the guys could go in the girls and the girls could go in the guys' dorms. And I recall going into very frequently seeing in the girls' dorms when we'd go over there, wedding planning magazines and thinking, yeah, you're like 18, 19, 20, whatever it is, right? Like, yeah, you don't even have a boyfriend, or maybe you do, but you're still in college. This is a little premature. So you immediately, like, you go into that dorm room and you're like, hey, how's it going? And you see all those magazines, you go, yeah, I'm out. So it's a wonder that the guys stuck around this long. If you want the quick fix, it would be you do the whipped cream bikini thing and just be like, hey, what's up? And just do that all the time. And then, what's he going to do? Say no? But other than that, you gotta steer clear of the whole, we're getting married, final say, and you should be good if you tone it down there and crank up the sexiness, maybe. That's my advice.
All right. That's good advice, Ray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's put a bow on this one. Ray, next week, we got Tom from Rose Mortem Cast.
We're doing a great job. Yeah.
Coming on next week. We're going to talk about that Street Profits, entrance music we heard. And we're going to put together a Thanksgiving episode, and we're going to do lots of stuff next week because, hey, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm going to tell you all. Anyways, Ray, you should know this as well. Thanksgiving is my birthday. That's right. I'll be 39 years old, Ray.
You are so old.
Fucking old, bro.
Not the original Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. No, you were, okay.
All right. So, hey, if you want to check out our friends Lisa and Lindsey on the Garbage and Gold podcast, they're on Twitter at Garbage Gold Pod, and you can follow all their adventures there. I would highly encourage you listening. It is a nice break. I don't know what kind of podcast you listen to, Ray. I know what I listen to. It's a lot of complaining and a lot of wrestling. So listening to Garbage and Gold with Lisa and Lindsey every Tuesday is a nice refresher from all of that. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun because you're thinking of things like whoever thought about the good things and bad things about sleepover. And it's fun when they kind of nail it. One of them, I think it was Lisa, said not having your own stuff. And when I used to sleep over at my friend's house, like, yeah, I don't have my own shit. And this is kind of annoying. And I'm like that at hotel rooms now as an adult. So check out Garbage and Gold and check out Lisa and Lindsey as well. It's at Garbage Gold Pod. And they release their episodes every Tuesday on all podcast apps.
It's very good.
Yeah. Ray, how do we get a hold of you? How do we find you? How do we do stuff with you, buddy?
Just find me on Twitter at Jules Winfeld. I get on there and I'll keep throwing my little ideas out there every once in a while.
You ever think of like changing your Twitter name to at Ray TRDS?
I could, yeah. Do you think I should do it?
I mean, I don't know, Ray. I don't know how you invested in the show you are. I mean, I might quit tomorrow.
Did you see? I have the my profile picture is the one from the song that I did that Randy made the little Photoshop of me.
Oh, the song you did. That's right. I don't have that I don't have it queued up to play. That was a beautiful song that you did.
Oh, it was.
Don't stop podcasting. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was pretty clever.
Yeah. All right. No, it was a good song.
I can't say that out loud.
No, you know what? It was a fitting end to the end of Huelhauser. I played at the end of that. Yeah, it was really good. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So you can find us on the web, richdickman.com for all your Rich Dickman needs. Click the merch tab and buy yourself a shirt and help support the show. I would really appreciate that. And you can email us, richdickmanshow@gmail.com. And you can find us on Twitter at richdickmanshow. Follow producer Ryan. I saw Ryan last week, Ray. We had Hot Pot together with Chris O.C. at Ryan TRDS. Ooh. Yeah, we went to the Hot Pot restaurant in Queens and Ryan was running behind. So I was like, hey, table for 3, but there's only 2 of us. He's going to come later. And we got our table and I sat down. I ordered for him like a real man, Ray. I was like, he'll have the spicy pot.
Gentleman.
And we'll have some beef, we'll have some lamb, we'll have some chicken, and we'll have some vegetables. Yeah, it was a good time and it was nice. It's always fun hanging out with Chris O.C. and Ryan TRDS. It's at Ryan TRDS. Follow my mom on Twitter at Rem_mama and wish my father a happy birthday. 71, Ray. My God. And, you can follow Randy at Sir Zero with an E. Ask him if he got more high energy since the last time we talked to him. And you can follow me on Twitter at Rem Dickman, REMDICKMAN. That's right. And again, I think it was at Rich Dickman Show. Yeah, check out our friends. All right. And you heard Lisa and Lindsey from Garbage and Gold. Check them out. Check out our buddies at Not for Human Consumption podcast. Ray, we gotta teach Dave a lesson. I don't know if you heard 102 yet, but we really have to teach Dave a lesson. Yeah, you should check it out because, Matt gives us a little plug. And Dave has some shit to say, so we got to take care of him. And of course, you got Roast Mortem Cast, who we hear from next week, and you have the Thought Cops. Oh, that's right.
I don't know. Does anyone even know who Dave is? Like, I know he's on that show, but does anyone even know who he is? Like
he's some sort of communist. I assume he doesn't have a job. Maybe he does. I don't know.
No,
super offensive. Super offended by things. Says the a lot. I don't know. I don't know what Dave Steele is, but whatever.
Did you see him on America's Most Wanted last week? Yeah, he was on there.
I did. Yeah. No, it was really, really weird to see like a Most Wanted picture with a guy with glasses covering. Should I make the hole in the face joke? I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I can make the hole in the face joke.
I think you might have just done it.
Did I? Oh shit. All right. But that's it for us. We'll be back again next week with episode 82. And we'll have a lot more fun. Svensson, you need to get us a new Dick of the Week, Svensson, because there's only so many weeks that we can be you. And this week wasn't one of them, pal. HDNB, thank you for submitting the Napoleon Killer. We're going to talk about that next week. We're going to go back next week with Dick of the Week. We're going to go hardcore with that stuff. But this was all about Garbage and Gold, and they were great. Again, thank you to Lisa and Lindsey at Garbage Gold Pod. Check them out. That'll do it. That's it. That's enough. That's enough the show. I've had too much whiskey. And Ray, good night.
See ya. Oh, also, I have so many fun replacement swear words lined up.
really.
Barbara Streisand. Caesar's ghost. Merlin's beard. 6 and 2 is 8.
Merlin's beard.
Jumpin' Jiminy.
Oh,
Gee Willikers.
Ray.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. Holy cow. That sounds like a baseball thing.
Yeah, corn nuts. Dillweed. You just got them all.
Ray, I'm about to do something
Crikey.
really.
Yeah. Something really crazy. Son of a biscuit, don't do it. Peanut butter and jelly. Mother of pearl. Tartar sauce. Hobknocker.
You stole my Guy Fieri, you dick.
I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming.